mold craftsman of distinction, the expert in cutting rubber molds. Today we're going to learn how to make the rubber molds. Before we're going to start learning how to make a rubber, we have to get familiar with the different frame, the most popular frames that we have. We have a double frame number 2. We have a 4-size number 2 frame, and we have number 3 frame, double frame, and we have number 4 frame. Number 2 frame, it takes 6 pieces of rubber Castaldo ready cut. Number 3 frame takes 8 pieces of ready cut Castaldo rubber molds. And number 4 frame takes 10 pieces ready cut Castaldo rubber molds. And this is a number 4 frame. This is number 2, as the same as number double 2 single frame. The difference is you could put 4 molds on one shot. This one you only put 2 molds on one shot. If your machine is one of the deluxe new machines that we have on the market, you could put 4 molds in one shot. It means that every time you open your vulcanizer, you will have 4 molds ready. Before you start making a rubber mold, the whole process, the most important thing to making a rubber mold is to make sure the vulcanizer machine are in the right temperature. If the vulcanizer machine is not in the right temperature, the rubber mold will experimenting a softness or hardness or a shrinking because of that problem of the temperature is not correct. In order to correct the temperature, you should have, or what I have in my hand, is a digital thermometer. With this digital thermometer, you will check the temperature in your vulcanizer that makes it to 310 degrees to 325 Fahrenheit. In order to check the temperature in your vulcanizer, you have to have an accurate thermometer like this. And the plate, metal plate, could be aluminum plate or plate. They introduce your thermometer inside the metal plate, okay? And then when you introduce your thermometer inside the metal plate, this metal plate goes to in your vulcanizer. So now we want to check the temperature on your vulcanizer. In order to do so, like we see before, we introduce the thermometer into the metal plate, and then the plate you put in between the plates and the vulcanizer. And then press your vulcanizer like you are pressing a rubber mold. Okay? When you see it can go more, you just leave it over there until you read and your thermometer screen 110 to 325 Fahrenheit, and between those range 110 to 125, that's what you should leave your vulcanizer to working for an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So now after we check the temperature on our vulcanizer and we make sure the vulcanizer are working properly, the next step is how to pack a mold. And how do we know where's the right frame for the right model? So here we can see we measure a 1/4 inch from the top of the model to the top of the frame. We have that space over there from the model to the frame, to the top of the frame. That we could pack this in the frame number 2 with gold with 6 slices on the bottom and 6 slices on the top. Ready cut Castaldo. So the next step when we start making a rubber mold number 2, 6 slices, 3 on top and 3 on the bottom, we're gonna cut over here the place. We make a triangle. That's where the bottom is gonna be placed. So this bottom go here is on the sprue and goes like that. So that way we make a space on the first rubber that we cut. And then we proceed to take the white paper, and we also cut the second one on the top. We make it cut, so when we place our mold in the center, the mold all the way has to be in the center, and we make sure the blue paper is out. You never leave the blue paper, because if you leave the blue paper, you're gonna ruin the molds. So we proceed to pack the center of your molds, making sure that with the tweezers you're not touching your model. If you scratch your model, then you're gonna damage your models, and it will be no good. So we take some pieces of rubber, cut pieces by piece, and making sure again that you're not touching the model with a twisted pointer. It's very important they fill all your cavities and your models. It's easy to fill the cavities, that way you're not forcing your rubber to go through your holes. That's why sometimes the holes don't fill, because you are not filling, okay? You're not filling your holes. Sometimes you have to do tiny little pieces for this hole here. As you can see, tiny holes. We're going to proceed to plug that hole, because sometimes it didn't fill. I don't like to force the rubber in. I don't like to leave it like that, because if you leave it without a rubber, is just to forcing your rubber to get in. So you have to tie it up. Tie your rubber, your vulcanizer more. Again, we take the blue paper. As we see here, the blue paper is plastic and will melt if we leave it. It will melt when we put it in the vulcanizer. Again, with your tweezers, you just go around, okay, making sure that you're not touching your models. Then you take we proceed to take the blue paper, taking blue paper out, you see here we have 1 and 2, 1 and 2, top and the bottom. The center is the model, so we have to take the white paper out. Then take the blue paper, we have 1, 2, 3 in the bottom, we have 2 on top. This frame number 2 goes with 6 pieces, and 3 in the bottom and 3 on the top, then 6 pieces plus the rubber that you're filling. When you're filling, you put it in the middle, in the center model. And then we go through, mark our mold, G, D, M, E, 0119, WS wax setting 1/17/2001. This is another simple piece. It's a setting of the first step. We're going to take the white paper out. Then we take the blue. We make the cutting for the button to be placed. And then, even if this is a simple piece, but with a simple piece, we need to make sure the piece is stayed in the center, level in the center. It doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't go one side more than the other side. And then we proceed again. Cutting the center bottom cavity. And then we make sure not to touch in the model. This is again 3 and 3, number 6 for the frame number 2. Frame number 2, use 6 slices already cut Castaldo. This rubber is already prepared, you don't need to be cut. It's already pre-cut. You don't need to wasting your time in cutting your rubber. You can see here is 1, 2, 3 on the bottom, 1, 2, 3 on the top. The model is placed in the center. Then we will begin to mark our mold with a margin market laundry pen. X024 1/17/2001. This is another pieces. Again, we place our pieces. As you can see, the piece is not balanced. We cannot put mold like this. Even if we start putting rubber in the center, this is the wrong way to do it. What we have to do, we have to place our model in the center and make sure it's a level. Just mark it all around. Mark it all around. See, if this model we pack it like that, we just feel the center cavity is going to be bent when we put it in the vulcanizer. What we have to do is just cut the center. Okay. We're going to cut the center here. When we cut the center, now our piece is placed right in the center. If you can see, it's not moving. Okay? Don't matter how big a pressure you do on the vulcanizer, the model, it won't be bent. So while we proceed to fill the cavities, all the cavities in your model. Very important, because if you don't fill your the cavities, you again going to force your rubber to go through all those holes, and it's not good. You cannot force your model, okay?
insert a piece of rubber in the center, place it so the model not move. You take the white paper out and the blue paper also. That's the first two rubber pre-cut castaldo. And then we are placing on top of the model. Again, not touching, be very careful not to touch and scratch your model. You can see here, you have cavities over here, right around the models. Those cavities should be filled with pieces of rubber. Take the blue paper, place it on top, take the white, place it on top, then we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I mean, we need a slice of ready cut castaldo. When we take the white paper halfway, then we proceed to mark it, the name of the company, the number, the model number, month, day, and year 2000. Now this is different models. Every model has different way of packing and cutting. We have to do here, we have to place a rubber between See, this model is not balanced, so in order to make balance, we have to place a piece of rubber right underneath, on the sprue, under the sprue, and then we proceed to fill it up, the cavities. And I insist not to touch in your model, because if you crash your model, then you have to give it to the model maker to be fixed. You blue plastic paper again, take it out, and then place it straight. Make sure they are aligned together, the bottom rubber to the top rubber. Blue paper. bench where you packing your molds, the bench has to be very clean. Your hand should be clean also. Even if you have your dirty hands, you will ruin the process of making your rubber, the rubber molds neat, properly done. If the bench is dirty, all the dirt, all the sweating in your hands, it will stick on your rubber, and the rubber will vulcanize it. It won't stick together. If the rubber has oil or water, the sweating is in your hands, the oil that you from your hands, from your body, also makes the rubber that didn't work. Every time you feel like your hand is sweating or it's dirty, go ahead and wash your hands. Because the rubber cannot be touched with dirty hands or sweaty hands.